The Tartarian civilization was said to be the greatest civilization ever to be erased from history. People have different opinions, and it's gaining a lot of attention and followers from Reddit, Twitter, and other social media sites. The Tartarian myth has several running discussions. The first one is about how Tartaria was a loss of a great empire in northern Asia. The second is that this empire ruled over the entire planet, establishing a one world or nearly one world government. The final layer is that this empire was not only global but also advanced. They had technologies unlike anything we can comprehend, and the society's architecture demonstrates their enormous talents. Tartaria was an extremely strong empire that deeply influenced the world, but has then purposely been erased from history. Individuals who believe in this theory believe that all world culture was profoundly shaped by a superstate that then just kind of vanished, leaving various artifacts behind. The theory was there was this history wipe or reset, and there was some kind of mud flood catastrophe around the 1850s that caused worldwide mud accumulation, covering a large portion of buildings and churches. And historical evidence was mostly removed from our libraries and education systems for some other inexplicable reason. Tartaria was allegedly a pre-Mongolian empire that started in northern Asia and spread throughout the northern hemisphere. Great Tartaria was the largest empire at the time and would have been the largest today. The Tartarian Empire thrived in part due to the civilization's dominance in superior technology, free energy, and spectacular architecture. Tartary was a country with its own flag, government, and location on the map. Its area encompassed the majority of the modern world, yet it was discreetly assimilated by Russia and a few other countries. Some theorists believe that ancient Tartarians were giants. They were the indigenous people who comprised the world-famous Tartarian Empire. The Tartarians are said to have been breatharians, a species that derives its energy directly, much like plants do when they consume food. Breatharians do not rely on the digestion and burning of calories from food or water. They were tall people, standing 8 to 12 feet tall on average. They would have been regarded as giants to our current average height of roughly 6 feet, but 10 feet was the normal height back then. Like the civilizations that came before them, whose average height was taller than we are now. Tartary appears to have been a single county before being divided into parts, such as Petit Tartary, Eastern Tartary, Russian Tartary, Mongol Tartary, Chinese Tartary, and the Muscovite Tartary. The epic mud flood that is being used to describe Tartary's downfall was an event that occurred only a few hundred years ago during the end of the Tartarian Empire's reign. Buildings hundreds of years old and located all over the world have been known to drown in a mud flow up to several stories high, and in some cases even completely engulf buildings entirely in nothing but mud. Upper story windows and doors frequently discovered to be at ground level, and occasionally totally buried beneath the surface of the mud that covered the entire area. In essence, what we have is a building with windows on the lower floors that are different from those on the upper floors. These windows either extend totally below ground level or partially. In Greek mythology, Tartarus is the deep abyss that serves as both the Titan's prison and a place of agony and suffering for the wicked. Because the Tartarian Empire was submerged and destroyed during the mud flood, the idea of lost souls spending all of eternity in Tartarus, the underworld, has come to be associated with it. The Tartarian civilization dominated technologies that were more advanced than the ones we have today. Its geopolymer concrete was indestructible and strengthened with time. Its massive iron and glass structures, topped by domes and metal needles, could be found on every continent. They were linked to Mercury and delivered free atmospheric energy to everyone. Its railway stations and towers are still functional. Unfortunately, the technology of free energy was destroyed and imprisoned, and ancient technology such as cables and wires was reintroduced to distribute energy and profit tremendously. The architectural styles known as Beaux-Arts and Second Empire are the most significant evidence for Tartaria. These styles were related to ancient Roman architecture. They do, however, use modern techniques and materials to enhance the facade. Throughout the 19th and 20th centuries, the architecture was famous all over the world. Surprisingly, soon after these styles emerged a trend known as brutalism, in which buildings were constructed as totally utilitarian structures that were frequently exceedingly plain. Tartarian believers use this contrast to argue that our culture was not advanced enough to establish the Beaux Arts style. Therefore, we reuse the artifacts from an older civilization. In 1961, Romanian archaeologist Nicolae Vlasa made a potentially definitive discovery of the Tartarians' earliest writing systems. The Tartaria tablets were discovered by Vlasa's team during an archaeological dig at a Neolithic site in Romania. These 3 little clay tablets have mysterious etchings on them. The significance of the etchings on the tablets has been subject to a variety of interpretations. While some people think the etchings are an early type of writing, others think they are pictograms or scribbles made at random, religious symbols or ownership insignia. Each tablet measures approximately 2 by 2 inches across. 3 are spherical, 2 are rectangular. There are holes bored through the rectangular tablet and the round tablet. The clay tablets were discovered along with 26 clay and stone figurines, a shell bracelet, and broken human bones. Some people think that the tablets were actually discovered inside a pit used for sacrifice. The tablets have only one side that is inscribed, and the writings on it resemble a range of mostly abstract symbols: a horned animal, a mysterious figure, a vegetal pattern, a branch or tree, and more. Tartaria also comes with strange theories. According to one hypothesis, Jesus established this civilization during the millennial reign of Christ portrayed in the book of Revelations. They construct a 1,000-year empire ruled by Jesus himself using a succession of scriptures, the Tartarian theory, and the widespread conspiracy that the Middle Ages never occurred. We are currently living in the period following Christ's reign, which is also described in the book of Revelation. As a result, Satan himself is attempting to conceal the truth about Tartaria from us. Another religious theory was in order to mislead people into believing they would join those in the underworld if they disobeyed the religious authority. Religionists exploited the mudflood catastrophe and how it wiped away the Tartarian Empire. The Tartarian believers concluded that their architects must have been giants because of the vaulted ceilings in the buildings that remained after Tartaria, and that the world governments are actively attempting to conceal an ancient civilization of giants for believers. Tartarian believers point to a wide range of events as evidence of a Tartarian Empire cover-up campaign. Most battles in the late 19th century were viewed as attempts to demolish most of the remaining architecture. Believers in Tartaria view World War II as the completion of a global campaign to wipe out all evidence of the Tartarian Empire's existence. Aficionados also often look to World's Fairs, which are major worldwide exhibitions of a wide variety of industrial, scientific, and cultural objects displayed at a given site for a period of time, and conclude that the stunning buildings erected for these events were not built. Instead, these were Tartarian standing structures. The government aims to obliterate Tartaria from history and constructed the World's Fair in such a way that they could destroy these structures without raising suspicion. Tartaria conspiracy theory may be one of the strangest examples of pseudo-history. Its core notion is that the area depicted on early modern European maps as Tartaria or Grand Tartary was not merely a hazy topographical designation, but rather a massive centralized empire. The existence of said empire has been concealed for whatever reason to fit in with various stories, even though it existed at one point and vanished at another. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and watching today. My name is James, and this is the Restricted section. We upload 3 times per week. If you enjoy stories like this one, please like the video, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our uploads. If there are any topics you would like to see in future videos, please put them down below in the comments. Thanks again, and see you on the next one.